Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. I've got my cup of coffee sitting here watching my own replay. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror, man. This happened on stream. It was my STA-2. I am in a battle on Proc. Spawned into the south in a standard battle, and I am middle tier in a 357-ish or something like that. Just like the battle days with the 357 template. We're going to talk about analyzing the setup of the match, looking at the map, looking at positions, and realizing that a position that may not be that viable becomes extremely viable depending on what you see. So let's take a look at this. You can see where I'm going. So I've already foreshadowed, I've given it away. If any of you watch me stream or play, you probably know exactly where I am going. But here's why. Let's talk about the why. What do we not have in this match? Artillery, right? There is no artillery in this match. That opens up a lot of positions that you may not otherwise use. The most interesting one to me is the 5.6, which was completely ignored by the team. This is what most people miss, who are kind of casual players or who are not very good or who are learning and trying to get better. One of the things they miss is this analysis of what do I have in front of me? What is the team? What's the map? What's the mode? What are the positions of the map? And which ones are more or less viable depending on what's going on. The 5 or 6 line is always important. Always important. But when you have no artillery, it becomes actually a fantastic spot because the 5-6 line from the south affords shots onto the hill, and the 5-6 line from the north affords shots onto the back of the hill or even into the flat bit, depending on how high up you get. Because there's no artillery, though, the hill is also viable, and I'm going to show you the position that I mean, because if I went to this position with a lot of artillery, I wouldn't last very long. I do it anyway sometimes, depending on how hard my tank is. This is not a very hard tank. That's the other piece of the puzzle, isn't it? I'll just shoot that guy on the way in. I knew he was there. There we go. This is not a really fantastically hard tank. The turret's okay, but with a hard medium, I might actually come up here anyway. But with this one and no artillery, now I've got all kinds of options. I can drop low enough that I'm probably not going to get shot by their guys on the ridge over here on the 5.6 or further out. Notice the draw distance ring. That's where you got to watch out. Okay, the further east you are, the further east they have to be. But also, if I go too far east, I start climbing up the hill. Like, oops, that guy is not in the right place. Do not go there. If you're going to come to this spot and spot, that is not the place. Why? Because he is completely exposed to their 5-6 line guys. So I looked at this, I said no artillery, I got a great hold down, a decent hold down medium tank with good gun depression, which is going to allow me to get sneaky, cheeky shots on guys that are hanging out right there. I'm able to shoot down to the 5.6, and even if I get spotted, that's fine, because it's going to minimize shots coming back at me. Now my team gets pretty aggressive right here. So I decided to start working on the Chi-Ri. I don't know what the old, was it a T10 that went down there? Yeah, I don't know what this T10 is thinking. He sort of comes around the corner. I think he might have been thinking we would all just pile in after the 430, but in my opinion, this was too early. There's too many guns down there. We were going to get mauled if we all come boiling off the side. So I choose to be a little bit more careful, and which is good because we have shots on the guys in the back that are going to be the issue if we come over. Let's wear them down, maybe get rid of those guys a little bit. I can keep on spotting. Now, one of the bummers about this, about not having artillery and what I'm doing is I don't have artillery to hit them on the other side of the hill. So we've got to kind of create our own shots coming up and over. But it's definitely viable, and look how we're pushing the 430 and the other guy back. They know they can't really be there. If they come up high, then they get hit by guys in the 5-6 line. But guess what? We don't have any 5-6 line guys. That was a bit of a bummer, and it did cost us a little bit right there trying to take these guys on. The Chi-Ri is moving into town for some reason. Trying to get shots on him, but I missed that one, and down he goes, though. The IS-3A takes him out. And then the Tiger 2 loses his mind, but we take that opportunity to come up over and try to get some shots on guys. Actually get one more into the turret of the 3000 2D. 430's looking for shots. We've got a Super Hellcat up here, and we more or less own this hill. Now, had we had guys on the 5-6 line, this would have gone a lot better. What I should have done here, I make a mistake. I should have absolutely come up and over and tried to help him take shots on the 430, help whittle that guy down, or potentially just go at him. My concern was I didn't know where all of their TDs were, and I was worried there were guys back up there, but they actually end up working these guys over pretty well. The IS-3 comes over, and bad on me. I should have gone there and helped. We'd have killed him probably a few seconds earlier and got this thing done much earlier than we did. So we're pushing the 3002, and because these guys aren't taking a bunch of aggro, I start to figure that more than likely there are no or very few TDs. Now this is kind of interesting because that usually is a very good spot for getting spotting, but because so many of my teammates were boiling over with me, that I only ended up with 1400 damage and no spotting. But we'll get our spotting a little bit later on this one. Those guys push in. I'm just going to let them, if they're going to go spot the guys up on the track. The only problem is I don't quite have draw distance for it, so I just need to pay attention. I just need to pay attention to the minimap, because if they do appear right there, they're probably going to be slightly outside of draw range. 430 moves in. We'll go ahead and speed this up. Look at all the campers down in the southwest just sitting there. One of them just died, so that means they're being outspotted by somebody. And while things look good, we need to make something. We need to make a change here. So I'm going to speed on in here. What I'm looking for here is to see if that 7501 is still up against this train track here. So we'll just come in. We'll just kind of pop up and put our turret up and over that. Just take a peek. Nothing there. Let's spin around. Come back this way. All right, where are they? We're getting some targets. T10's coming over. The 430's coming over. Their Tiger C dies. I get spotted, so unfortunately there's something close by. I don't realize what it is until just a moment. So I'll back up out of that thing. Looking around. The 430 and the T10 are kind of stuck. They're getting spotted doing that. Take a little look. I don't see it. There goes the 1357F, and there's the Lorraine. So it was either the Lorraine or potentially the 1357F that was spotting me. The Lorraine dies. That's perfect. And now I'm starting to contemplate my move into the flats. What I really want to do is get into this area over here, drive into between these ridges, dive down behind them, and come up and over and start getting some spotting. You can see that my campers are finally starting to move. So I'll just make a little move here, try to take a shot, and we'll move in. There's the T95. He's getting beat up. We'll cross this using this terrain to keep low, and since I'm already moving, I'm just going to come up and over. Just shoot on the way. There's a little spotting damage for me. So I am up to, take a hit, unfortunately, from the 130. I'm up to 1,300 assists. There's some more, 2,000 assists, just because I was willing to come up there and take a chance to get in close. There's the Lurv. But he's looking, I'm not sure where he's looking, but he's taking all kinds of hits. T10's not really looking at me. He's busy shooting people. So he backs out. Put a hit on him. The low's dead. I'm up to 2,900 assist. What I'd love to do is get up underneath him, but I'm worried because there is a turtle. There's the turtle. That's good. Good to know he's not staring at me. He's getting shot at by everybody else. I come up for a shot. I don't get it. Back down, and now we're looking good. We got them all stuffed into a corner back there. Now I'm just looking for a way to come up and over this ridge and get underneath them and start looking for shots. I feel like if I go right now, they might all be there, but once I realized the 7501 was not sitting there shooting at me, I come up and over. There's a T10. There's plenty of hit points back there, plenty of guns to hurt me. I bounce. Bounce the Sioux. Take a hit from the TVP. I just keep going at him because I want to light him. He's there, so if I just stop, he's going to continue to get shots on me. There he is. There's, oh no, that's the T10. I miss him. That sucks. TVP is still back there. The 7501's pushing our guys. And this didn't end up being quite as close as I would have thought. We're at 3,000 assists for me and 1,900. Or quite as big a win, let me put it that way, as I would have thought. But every time they pop up, they get shot by somebody. There, the VTU's making a runner. We'll take him out. Nope, we'll bounce. That was rough. Couple of bad bounces. A lucky, holy cow, don't get me. A lucky miss from the T10. I'm thinking, well, that's the end of this. T10's going to get me. Gets hit by one guy. Holy cow, I survived it. One more shot into him. And I'm thinking, oh, ramming speed. Let's just ram him. And he dies. 4,433 assists. All pretty much at the end game. 2,658. No kills. No kills. Not able to. The two guys I would have had a kill shot, both of those bounced. A TVP VTU and a Su-130. Go figure. Oh, man. I think that's a pretty good example, though, of looking at the setup, looking at what wasn't there, in this case, artillery, and then making a plan based on that information, thinking, well, you know what? That north part of that hill is actually viable for this STA-2 in this match without artillery. Now, I have to be careful. It's still an aggressive forward position, and had a couple tanks showed up over there with good hold down capability, I might have been in trouble as they peeked up over and popped me. But once I came up and I saw the Hellcat getting beat up, I push in. I'm looking at where the rest of the guys are. Once I got up and over and realized it was just the 430 and a 3002 who was falling back, I knew right away that we had a nice advantage being a little bit aggressive and not sitting back here and just kind of hanging out in this bush, which is what you end up seeing quite a bit on this map. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support of the channel, and we will see you.